Good, happy March 1st, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, family speaks after woman kidnapped from Boston nightclub found dead. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB, Boston.
This is not what any family should ever have to go through.
Friends and family of Jessie Correa faced the cameras with broken hearts.
She was a mother. She was brave. She was strong. She did not deserve this. She went out to celebrate her birthday and never returned home.
The 23-year-old was last seen early Sunday morning leaving the Venue nightclub in Boston, captured on surveillance with a man who her family believes Jessie had just met.
Women should have a right to go to any nightclub and wear whatever they want to and not worried about being kidnapped and murdered at the end of their night.
We're all devastated by what happened. You know, it's a tough time for everyone.
Throughout the evening, the sounds of raw grief echoed from the family home. They had clung to hope that Jessie would be found safe, but Boston police delivered the devastating news late afternoon. A GoFundMe page set up by the family said her body had been found in 2 suitcases in the trunk of a car.
I have this only seats and I have nobody to constitute anymore.
I just ask the public to please, at this very fragile moment, to respect my family's privacy and let us mourn in private.
And tonight the family is also asking for justice and prayers.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And our thoughts and prayers are with her family. Vermont Senator approves tax and regulate cannabis bill. Let's take a listen to the video.
Is this industry representative of the communities that have historically bared the greatest brunt of injustice based on the prohibition of marijuana?
Okay, and there you go on that video. And there is a bill making its way through the Vermont legislature would both tax and regulate recreational cannabis in the state. Community rallies to help victim of fire that killed 7-year-old boy. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
The house on Thorwald Avenue in Hampton is boarded up. In the fresh snow, flowers and a stuffed animal have been placed on the steps. A few miles away, the wife of Exeter's fire chief drops off a donation.
Just being in the fire service all these years, I just know how it just hits. It's really awful. You just feel so bad.
With broken hearts, people are turning to helping. Inside the Community Oven Pizza Shop, employees taped together a donation box to start collecting. One of their employees is among the 9 people displaced from 2 homes during Wednesday's overnight fire. A 7-year-old boy did not make it out.
They've had great loss. So, we as a community and we as a team here are going to do everything we can to make things better. We had a gentleman that brought clothing in. He came back with gift cards.
The grandmother of the little boy posted a message on the Facebook page for the guinea pig sanctuary, which was inside the home, saying, "I released myself from the ICU to be with the family. I tried 2 times to get back into the house to save my grandson and ended up with many burns. I couldn't save him and he was already gone. God help us." The Hampton Firefighters Charitable Organization is trying to help, collecting funds.
If we can do anything to help anybody out, here in our community especially, we're willing to do as much as we can.
And a fundraiser will be held here at Community Oven in 1 week next Thursday, with proceeds going to the families. Live in Hampton tonight, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police get $6,000 back from Maine couple hit by grandparents scam. Auburn police say they were able to help a couple in their 80s who were victims of the grandparents scam. Police said people pretending to be the couple's grandson and his attorney tried to get the couple to mail them $6,000 in cash. The scammers told the couple the grandson had been drinking and was involved in an accident. Police said a person pretending to be an attorney told the couple to mail the cash to a specific location and not to tell anyone about the situation. Police were able to track the package containing the cash to a distribution center and return it to the couple. Officials said this is one of the growing list of scammers trying to target older Mainers. Police ask that people educate older relatives on the warning signs of scams. Scammers will spoof real numbers to appear legitimate. They will have already obtained details about their victims, police said. A legitimate caller will not object to attempts to verify who they are. A criminal will protest these attempts. Police said scammers apply immense pressure on their victim to act quickly and not tell anyone. Scammers often demand cash, wire transfers, and prepaid cards. Legitimate organizations do not do this. Police said people should verify who they are speaking with when receiving unsolicited calls. Ask for any form of payment. The United States Senate Special Committee on Aging has established a fraud hotline 1-855-303-9470 and website. The AARP also has a fraud hotline. Call ARP Elder Watch at 800-222-4444. Option 2, or go to their website. Organization work to help people struggling with homelessness. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
"15 years ago, Ronald Sears lost his job. He quickly found himself on the streets with his 12-year-old son.
Slept in my car a couple of times with him and bounced from place to place and ended up at the family shelter.
They eventually ended up at The Way Home, a nonprofit that helps people in need obtain and sustain affordable housing.
Made me feel like not such a failure as a father.
Sears was able to tap into resources provided by the program and rebuild a life for himself and his son. He now volunteers as a board member for the organization.
It's my way of giving back to them that were so freely giving help to me.
His story is one that is familiar with thousands of Granite Staters.
It's impossible for a single mother or a single father that's trying to support a family to get by in Manchester.
Families in Transition is another nonprofit tackling homelessness.
We provided about 1,100 unduplicated individuals shelter last year.
It offers shelter for families and individuals in Manchester and Wolfboro.
But then we also have housing for individuals, intact families, single moms, single dads in Manchester, Concord, and Dover.
The organization also has a focus on the opioid epidemic.
We have the Willows Substance Use Treatment Center here in Manchester. We have a certified recovery support worker on staff here at New Horizons now.
This summer, they're hoping to expand those resources at New Horizons,
so that there's safe recovery shelter areas for men and a safe recovery shelter area for women.
In Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Franklin police search for a driver after man seriously injured in hit and run. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Police say it was about 6 o'clock Wednesday night when 53-year-old Edward Douglas Jr. was crossing Central Street in Franklin, right in front of City Hall, when he was hit by a car. Kristen Scora was working across the street and ran to help.
I asked him if he was okay. There was a few other standby people there, and he was starting to sit up, and he said, all I remember is I came out into the road to walk across the street, and a car came out of nowhere and hit me.
Police say the car was driving west when it hit Douglas and kept going. Destiny Seabury called 911.
My kids and I were in the bedroom upstairs and I heard a crash, and so we all looked out and I saw the poor man on the ground, and I could see from the window that he was bleeding out his head.
Police described the car as a dark Mazda.
There should be damage to the right side from the right front quarter panel extending down past the passenger side mirror, and it should be extensive damage. Other than that, we really don't have much to go on.
Douglas was taken to Concord Hospital. His injuries are considered serious.
It's just a terrible thing. I don't know how anybody could hit someone and just leave them laying in the street and walk away from it, not even check if they're okay. It's horrible.
Police say they're looking for any help possible with this investigation. They hope that someone may see or hear what happened and give them a call. Reporting live in Franklin, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dow features jump more than 100 points after strong growth data. U.S. stock indexes were higher Friday morning after officials' data showed stronger than anticipated economic growth in the world's largest economy. White House not cooperating in security clearance probe, House Committee Chairman says. The chairman of House Oversight's Committee says the White House has not been cooperative in the growing probe of security clearance given to members of the Trump administration. And if you want to read more on this article or watch the video, we will have a link for you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.